12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Do whatever you have to do to get that kid out of there.
Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar emphasizing the danger of leaving kids in a hot car after two young children were found dead on the far west side. Why he says the mother's story isn't adding up and how you can help piece together what may have happened. Plus, Luigi Mangione's attorneys are fighting to dismiss a federal indictment that could cost him his life. How they claim prejudice from public officials blocks a fair trial.
And we are starting off with clouds and humidity. You can notice the difference from today to yesterday. And as I've been combing through the data, I've been able to increase rain chances this week. There's a lot to talk about in the forecast coming up.
Welcome to GMSA, 8 a.m. here on the morning of the 21st night of September. We were singing a little Earth, Wind, and Fire back and forth.
Say you remember.
There you go.
All right, so that's how we're starting our Sunday. We hope you have a cup of coffee at home and enjoying this morning. It is humid outside, Devin. It's in the 70s, 77 degrees in San Antonio, 74 in Kerrville, 73 in Rock Springs, and 77 in Del Rio. But here's the kicker. The humidity is high. Dew points are in the low 70s, so we've got a very tropical feeling air mass overhead. The good news? Humidity will come down in the afternoon. You can see that on the dew point trend here. Dew points will come down into the afternoon hours. So when we're experiencing our hottest time of the day during the afternoon, that's when humidity will be at its lowest. So it's a bit of a dry heat later on this afternoon when it reaches 92 in Bulverde, 95 in Uvalde, 93 in New Braunfels, and 92 in Kerrville. Okay, so today it's going to be in the low 90s as I just showed you, and there's a small 10% chance for rain. But I mentioned this earlier. I was looking through the forecast data, and this week it's looking more and more likely that that cool front is going to move through on Wednesday. So what does that mean for us? Not necessarily fall-like weather, but it is going to increase our rain chances, and rain chances are increasing Wednesday and Thursday. We'll talk all about it coming up in a bit. Devin.
A mother of two young children was arrested yesterday after they were found dead on the far west side. But questions still remain as to what exactly happened. According to the sheriff's office, 28-year-old Tiona Islar told officers her children died after being left in a hot car. However, Sheriff Javier Salazar said there were some inconsistencies with her story. Here's
When the deputies arrived, the children had already been taken inside the residence.
Several Bexar County deputies responded to a call about two children left in a hot car. We now know both children died. One was a 3-year-old little girl, and the other was a 6-year-old little boy with autism. However, Sheriff Javier Salazar says he's not sure how this happened.
The initial report was that the children were left in the car. However, I can tell you, without going into too much detail, unfortunately I'm not able to go into too much detail, there just are some inconsistencies with the story that we're being given.
About how long do you believe the kids were in the car for?
The last time the mom reports having seen the children was about 10 o'clock this morning when she fell asleep. And then around 3 o'clock is when the children were found, reportedly.
A medical examiner made it to the scene, but we're still waiting on a confirmed answer as to how the two children died. Considering the initial call for help was about children being left in a hot car, we reached out to University Health's Director of Injury Prevention about why children being left in vehicles is life-threatening.
In a matter of 10, 20 minutes, it can skyrocket an additional 20 degrees. And so if it's already 90 degrees outside, a vehicle can spike up to 120. And when a vehicle has been outside for some time, we have seen temperatures as high as 160, 180 inside of a vehicle.
If you come upon a child locked in a car, make every intent to open the doors initially. If they're locked, at that point, it's safe to say, break a window, do whatever you have to do to get that kid out of there.
Zaria Oates, KSAT 12 News.
Sheriff Salazar also told us there's been at least one call for help to this home that involved CPS. That, along with the inconsistencies in her story, is why they're now asking for help from neighbors. If you live in the area and saw anything or have video between 10 a.m. and 3:25 p.m. on Saturday, you can contact BCSO at 210-335-6000. A San Antonio police officer turned himself into the Medina County Sheriff's Office after being charged with an assault-related offense while off duty. The department said in a news release that Cody Hagelin, a SWAT assigned to the SAPD SWAT detail, has been charged with assault by choking or strangling a family member. The incident happened a week ago. Hagelin had been with the department for 14 years and has been placed on administrative duty while the department investigates. According to a KSAT analysis, Hagelin is the 6th San Antonio police officer to face legal trouble this year. A San Antonio man was arrested after a high-speed chase through northeast Wilson County ended over in Floresville on Friday evening. Police say Christopher Consolato was driving through the area when they tried pulling him over for a vehicle issue. But instead of stopping, he took off at a high speed on State Highway 97, leading deputies on a chase towards Floresville. A deputy then used stop sticks to disable his vehicle, bringing the chase to a safe end. Luckily, no one was hurt. Consolato was taken into custody and faces charges including evading arrest with a motor vehicle, reckless driving, resisting arrest, and an outstanding felony warrant. The sheriff's office said more charges could be coming soon. Well, attorneys for Luigi Mangione are asking a judge to dismiss a federal indictment that could lead to the death penalty. Mangione is accused of shooting and killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson last year. In a court filing, his lawyers claim that his constitutional rights were violated due to, quote, a torrent of prejudice from multiple public officials. Because of this, they argue it'll be impossible for him to receive a fair trial. Mangione has pleaded not guilty to all federal and state charges. Ukraine under heavy attack after Russia launched a massive wave of drones and missiles across multiple regions, causing death, injuries, and damage to homes and high-rise buildings. Now, despite Ukraine's air defense's effort to shoot down most of the projectiles, with tensions rising and on both sides exchanging strikes, the conflict comes as world leaders prepare to gather at the United Nations next week. Here's more from ABC's Johnny Fernandez.
Ukrainian officials say at least 3 people have been killed and more than 30 injured in a massive aerial attack in several regions across Ukraine. Ukraine's Air Force says Russia launched more than 600 drones and missiles, damaging high-rises and homes in the eastern city of Dnipro. Officials say air defense, including an F-16 fighter jet, shot down most of the projectiles, but debris still rained down on several communities. Ukraine responding with its own strikes inside Russia, targeting oil refineries. Russia saying it intercepted nearly 150 Ukrainian drones. All this happening as world leaders prepare for next week's United Nations General Assembly.
Peace is under siege. Conflicts are multiplying. Civilians are suffering. Human rights and international law are being trampled.
Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said he plans to meet with President Trump at the UN meeting. The two leaders expected to discuss security guarantees backed by both Kyiv and its allies in Europe. Talks on any possible ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine seem to have stalled. 1 month after sitting down with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska to broker an end to the war. President Trump now expressing frustration with Putin.
He's let me down. He's really let me down.
President Trump is set to address the UN on Tuesday, with Zelensky to follow on Wednesday. Johnny Fernandez, ABC News, New York.
8:08 here in San Antonio, 77 degrees outside. Well, coming up next, a unique program at a local high school is helping students launch their own businesses right after graduation. Still ahead, I'll take you inside the classroom to show you how it works. Plus, a local motorcycle group helping kids through tough times, how their annual fundraiser helps keep their mission alive.
And we are starting off our day very humid, as I mentioned earlier. But look at that beautiful sun peeking through those clouds. It's going to be a warm day, but temperatures will fall this week because of a cool front. Although it won't necessarily be super cool outside. Details coming up.
Well, a San Antonio nonprofit of motorcycle riders are working to help kids who are facing abuse in Bexar County by bringing them into their group of guardians. The group is called Guardians of the Children, and they help kids by taking them to and from court if they need to testify in a trial or keep them company at home if they ever feel scared. The group had their 19th annual Victim to Victor fundraiser yesterday, all to keep up their mission of helping kids.
It's phenomenal. It's not uncommon for them to come in very closed off, and I don't know if y'all heard the national anthem, but seeing them go from closed off to singing on a stage in front of a pretty full crowd, man, that's it right there.
The kids get new leather cuffs, unique names, and the organization also raffled off a new Harley-Davidson motorcycle, all to make sure that they can still keep doing whatever they can to help kids who have been through abuse. Well, it's a program designed to help high school students open up for a business right after they graduate, all while helping people look their best. I'll take you inside the classroom and into the floor on the salon at the Sam Houston High School.
There's a lot of ways to study psychology.
I just want to understand the human's mind and why we react to things we react to.
But before Janiyah can step into the lab, she says one of the best ways to get in someone's head is through their hair.
I want to go to college, but I also want to have just in case I need a side job to have my license so I could do hair on the side.
She's here with dozens of other students at Sam Houston High School, working to get her cosmetology certification, doing a number of treatments.
It's hair, facials, hand massages, waxing, manicures, pedicures, much more too.
Right now I'm doing a facial wax. I'm waxing her underlip.
It's all part of the program here in SAISD. Students spend their first year learning in the classroom and getting on the floor after that. And now, for the first time, anyone in the community can come in on Tuesdays and Thursdays to get their own makeover.
I want to be a personal stylist, so I'm not technically going to work in the shop, but I'll do it on the side still.
And when these students graduate, they'll have everything they need to start working and maybe even open up their own shop.
How cool is it you get to come out of this program with your certification, right?
Yes, that's really cool. It really gives us the opportunity to have a setup of a job for when we get out of high school.
Ma'am, what do you think of the service? Has it been good so far?
It's been a long time since I had the things that she's doing today, so I feel really great.
While Janiyah still has some time before going to college, she's exploring a passion for hair while learning skills you can't read in a book.
The most challenging part has been actually talking to people, because I've never been the type to talk to somebody, but here I am today.
That is so great, Devin. And you got a little free manicure with that.
The first time I ever did that, I kind of get what the hype was about. My hands are so soft and nice. Things were pretty slippery after that, though. I won't lie. I was trying to have to grab all the different things.
Hey, so I'm kind of feeling a little giddy this morning because I've been able to increase rain chances in the upcoming week. And we really need rain, Devin. So it's not going to be a guarantee of rain yet for everybody, but it's something to talk about with a cool front. Now, today, though, is going to be hot. We're already starting off in the 70s and it's humid. It's mostly cloudy. By noon, we'll see a little bit more sun and then temperatures will soar. We're expecting a high today of around 93. And notice too that there is a chance for some rain. That chance though is only 10%. And I'll show you just how measly that chance is here in a second. But as we head throughout the rest of the afternoon and into the evening, temperatures will fall into the 80s. Here's a look at the futurecast. Now at recent check, there were some showers popping up here, but really only taking up, let's see, about a few miles of a difference here. So when we're talking about a 10% chance, that also equates to an area of about 4 or 5 miles. So really only some neighborhoods will be able to see any rain today. Otherwise, it is going to be just simply hot. And looking at clouds and radar, there are some areas of rain across Kansas, Oklahoma this morning. It's all around this low pressure system, but in its stead, high pressure is going to build. So our week is going to start with heat, and then by the middle of the week, that's when we'll see some changes. So starting with heat, 95 on Monday and 96 on Tuesday, well above the average of 89. But watch what happens in the middle of the week. You can clearly see that temperatures start to fall. Highs get closer to the average of about 89. The reason for that, a cool front moving through around Wednesday. So let me show you the future cast. As I mentioned, that high will build in, but then another low, a stronger low pressure system, is going to move in from the Rockies. And that's what's going to pull some cool Canadian air across Texas. Now here in San Antonio, it's still going to be warm, but that front will allow for a little bit of a drop in temperatures and an increase in the rain chances, especially as that front stalls on Thursday. So when we talk about rain chances in San Antonio, we're talking about a 40% chance on Wednesday and a 30% chance on Thursday. Yesterday, these rain chances were even lower, about 20 to 30%. So we're slowly starting to be able to rise those rain chances. There will still be, unfortunately, some folks that miss out on the rain, but if you do get some rain, could end up being some decent rainfall, and we need rain. When we look at the drought outlook through December, courtesy of the CPC, that's the Climate Prediction Center, you can see that through the end of the year, anywhere you see a yellow here, that's where drought is likely to develop. So a good portion of Texas right now is not in drought, but through the end of the year, drought is likely to develop. And then we are definitely in drought. We're continuing about a 3-year continual drought in Bexar County. Unfortunately, it looks like drought could continue. That's what that brown color there means. So again, we need any little bit of rain we can get, and we do have an increase of rain chances Wednesday and Thursday, which is why I was a little bit giddy this morning. Otherwise, it is going to be hot the next couple of days, but that chance for rain on Wednesday and Thursday allows for our highs to only be in the 80s. And then look at those morning lows too, in the 60s, starting pretty much Thursday morning through the weekend. We're going to be looking at nice, crisp, cooler mornings. And I know somebody who's excited about that, and that's Devin, because he usually works out early in the morning for the job here. So yeah,
it's always nice to be able to get out early and just like, okay, don't have to sweat through everything yet. You know, you get to keep it up a little bit.
Right. And hey, coming up, Devin, I'll have a look at the rainfall potential, the rainfall amounts.
Awesome. Sounds great. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate it. All right, time right now coming up here on 8:19, 77 degrees outside in San Antonio. Well, it's got people talking. We're going to show you a look at some of the bites and eats from the Texas Eats Festival taking place yesterday, plus some of the familiar KSAT faces that were there. Stick around with us on GMSA. Well, yesterday, KSAT's very own David Elder held the Texas Eats Food Festival. Thousands of you guys came out to try some of the very best food and drinks in South Texas. And if you showed up on top of the amazing bites, you probably ran into a few familiar KSAT faces. Check it out. Here's the team that won the wagon wheel, coming to us from Eagle Pass. They beat out 35 other teams to claim the prize, the best bite of 2025. Okay, before we go, we wanted to take a look at some of the pictures over at KSAT Connect. There's the Sarahs, Acosta and Spivey over there, doing great. Awesome to see some of the people there. Look, there's Miss Amber. She posted this, her mom dancing with our very own Mike. Great moves, by the way. Looks awesome. Feel free to continue to share your Texas Eats Fest pics with us over on KSAT Connect. Great stuff there, guys. All right, time right now, 8:24, 77 degrees outside in San Antonio. Coming up, the latest on the Uvalde School District's recovery from this week's tech problems, what's still working, and what staff are going to need to do if it's not restored. Plus, a tragic work accident claiming the life of a 72-year-old man. We're going to share stories from those who knew him and how his legacy continues to inspire even in the face of loss. Welcome back. 8:28 here on your Sunday morning, the morning of the 21st night of September.
I never thought about the morning of the 21st.
I know, a little bit of a mouthful, but the groove is there, you know?
He has been dancing all morning long.
My dad moves are unmatched, by the way. Just the worst things you've ever seen, but it's fun.
Well, how about some increased rain chances to get those?
I like that. That's something to boogie with.
Yeah, now today, though, it is mainly just going to be hot. It's already starting off near 80 degrees around San Antonio, 78 degrees. 72 in Boerne. Good morning, Bulverde at 73, 76 in Uvalde, and it is humid. As we look at today's forecast, we're starting off with some clouds. We're going to have a little bit more sun toward about the lunch hour. And then in the afternoon, just a 10% chance for a stray shower. So not a good rain chance today, but maybe one or two neighborhoods might see a brief pop-up downpour, high of 93 around San Antonio. But look what happens to rain chances in our week ahead. I have been able to increase those rain chances Wednesday and Thursday, and it's all because of this, a cool front. I'll be back to tell you how cool that cool front will get us here in San Antonio and across Texas, and we'll talk about potential rainfall amounts coming up in a bit.
Sarah, thank you. A prolific inventor and a mentor for all. That is how 72-year-old David Monroe is described by people who knew him. Monroe tragically died on Friday when a jet engine fell on him at work. Our John Paul Baraja spoke to those close enough to him, and although they are mourning, they say his legacy will live on.
Thank you
Thank you for being a mentor and a friend.
It's a difficult moment of reflection as a STEM visionary died Friday. David Monroe, the founder of the San Antonio Museum of Science and Technology, or SAMSAT, had a jet engine fall on him while he and a coworker were transporting the engine at Boeing Center at Techport.
David was an amazing inventor and entrepreneur, was a one-of-a-kind person who could take a technology, explain it to you, build it from scratch, and then create a strategy to bring it to the whole city in an impactful way.
Colleague Cliff Zinkgraf explains Monroe was a great service to the digital age, working at DataPoint Corporation, a large computer company here in town during the 70s and 80s. Zinkgraf adds Monroe's contributions were not just felt here in San Antonio, but across the world.
He holds the patent for the first use of a camera and a cell phone. I think he'll be remembered for his contributions to technology all over the world and for the impact that he made on students and families in San Antonio through his work at SAMSAT.
In a statement, SAMSAT and David's wife, Lorena, wrote in part, his final chapter was bringing this impact to all corners of San Antonio. He'll be greatly missed by his family, friends, and colleagues at SAMSAT and beyond.
His legacy will continue, and the team here will continue to build SAMSAT and bring these amazing benefits that he built to our community.
John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Now to a story we've been following all week. The Uvalde Consolidated School District says they've made significant progress in recovering from this week's technology issue and that there's no evidence of a data breach. The district told us they've restored internet, security systems, heating, and air conditioning at their campuses. They expect everything to be up and running by tomorrow morning, except for phones, which have proven to be a tougher challenge to fix. If those phones are still down on Monday morning, the district plans to have staff use their personal cell phones to reach parents without caller ID. Students will also be allowed to use their phones to contact parents if needed. The ransomware attack at UCISD does raise some questions like how vulnerable is everyone else to ransomware attacks? Our Erica Hernandez has some answers.
It's something that affects millions of people globally, a ransomware attack. So what is it?
It's an up-and-coming online criminal activity where basically your network and computers get infected with malware. That malware then typically encrypts your data, your programs, everything on your hard drive, and then demands a ransom.
Max Kilger, a professor and cybersecurity expert from UTSA, says that demand for a ransom is usually not a suitcase of money, but a payment in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin because it's hard to trace. If your computer gets hit, Kilgore says, there are signs like your screen freezing up, a pop-up saying your computer has been taken over, or a countdown clock appears. That is the amount of time you have to pay up.
While most businesses have an IT department and cybersecurity programs in place, what about the average user who's just using their personal laptop?
You just take the usual precautions that you hear people say for organizations, which is, be aware of who's sending you emails. Do not open attachments from people you don't know. Be careful about going to websites that seem a bit shady, clicking on things that you don't know.
Now, in the last 3 months of 2024, according to Norton Ransomware Protection, ransomware attacks surged by 50%. If it does happen to you, should you pay the ransom?
The FBI strongly suggests you don't do that. You may pay the ransom and you'll never get the key that unlocks your files. And also, if you pay the ransom, often that marks you as a target. That is, oh, look, they paid once, and so you'll get hit again.
With ransomware attacks on the rise, the message is clear from experts. Stay alert, back up all your computer information, and make sure to stay safe before you click. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Well, the Astros and Astros Foundation are making a big promise to Central Texas. They're committed to rebuilding and maintaining the Ingram Little League ballpark, which was damaged during the devastating July 4th floods. Now, they say this effort is a team effort. The Astros Foundation working with the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country, Major League Baseball, the Texas Rangers, other MLB teams, and some local Texas baseball groups to bring the important community spot back to life. The new ballpark will feature 3 main fields, 2 practice fields, brand new batting cages, and some other upgrades decided by the Ingram Little League Board. Good to see. Well, the Trump administration says a deal to keep TikTok operating in the United States could be finalized in just a few days. Under the agreement, a group of U.S. investors will now own 80% of the app. The remaining 20% will be kept by Chinese investors. Under the plan, the administration says the U.S. will have control over TikTok's algorithm and hold 6 of 7 seats on the company's board. Well, if you've got run errands today, you might want to think about hopping on a bike. A recent study shows that cycling could be good for your brain health. Researchers analyzed years of data from nearly 480,000 people and found that those who cycled had a 19% chance lower risk of dementia overall and a 22% lower risk of Alzheimer's disease. The study also found that cycling was linked to larger volumes in the part of the brain responsible for memory and learning. Communities in Schools of San Antonio is launching a new peer-led mental health program in 4 high schools across East Central and Southwest ISD. This initiative is part of CISSA's 40th anniversary celebration and supports the Future Ready Bexar County plan, which focuses on healing and helping youth mental health. The program aims to empower students to support their peers and promote well-being in schools. And coming up now, the Mexican men's national soccer team is headed to San Antonio for their final Texas appearance before the 2026 FIFA World Cup. On Tuesday, November 18th, Mexico is going to face off against South American team Paraguay at the Alamo Dome. This match marks the 120th game in the 22-year history of the Mex Tour. And guess what? Tickets go on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. Want to be there early for that. A quick reminder that Hispanic Heritage Month runs through October 15th, and to celebrate, the Pearl will host Mariachi Mondays at the Pearl Park every Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. if you want to listen to some free music. Time right now, 8:37 here, 78 degrees outside in San Antonio. An 11-year-old girl and a team of first responders are being called heroes after saving a mother from a medical emergency on the highway. After the break, the heartwarming meeting between their family and their lifesavers.
And how does increased rain chances sound for the week ahead? I've got a look at when rain is most likely coming up.
Good morning. We heard an extraordinary message from the President of the United States overnight. Donald Trump threatened his own Attorney General, pressuring her to prosecute his enemies. This at the end of a week where the Trump administration has taken a series of steps to crack down on speech that the president considers unfair to him. We'll explore the growing debate over free speech in America and President Trump's efforts to get retribution against his political rivals. All that coming up on a very important edition of This Week.
Well, feel free to join us for the 12th annual Head for the Cure 5K coming up on this Saturday, September 27th. It's a special event dedicated to raising awareness and funds for brain cancer research. It's also a race that's near to our hearts as it honors our late news director, Jim Boyle. The race is going to start at 8 a.m. right outside of our KSAT studios over at Providence Catholic School. Don't miss the chance to be part of an incredible cause. You can register now and use the code CURE to get $7 off your registration fee. And feel free to join KSAT and KSAT community for a night of hope and remembrance at Blood Cancer United's Light the Night in San Antonio. It's happening Saturday, October 11th at the Rock at La Cantera starting at 6 p.m. The family-friendly event honors those affected by blood cancers, survivors, and shines a light on the importance of research. You can enjoy music, food trucks, and a remembrance ceremony before the walk at 7:30 p.m. Every participant's going to carry a lantern, white for survivors, red for supporters, and gold for those we've lost, creating a powerful display of unity and hope. Admission is free. Everyone's welcome to join and register to fight to end the fight on blood cancer. You can scan the QR code to donate as well. Well, an 11-year-old girl and a group of first responders are being called heroes after a mother experiencing a medical episode while driving is alive thanks to them. With the help of our John Paul Barajas, that mom and her kids got to meet those who saved them from the side of the highway.
Imagine this. You're having a fun one-on-one day with your daughter, and then out of nowhere, you start experiencing palpitations, tremors, and even blurry vision, so much so that you have to pull over on the side of a highway and tell your 11-year-old daughter to call 911 for you. Not only was that the case, but now that family is getting to say thanks to those who helped them.
Hi, it's good to see you.
Can you tell me who's who? Hi. Thank you so much.
The Lester family's grateful. Mom Jenna suffered a seizure last month.
As you were having your medical episode, she was giving us information, and she was talking to you, trying to get you to remember different things. And I mean, she just did amazing.
Good job.
Well, she's doing much better now, in large part to her 11-year-old daughter Krista's heroics. Something she remembers vividly.
She's like, call 911. So I started panicking at that point because that was a little weird because I've never had to call 911 before.
Even though she was scared, Krista didn't hesitate.
She started seizing, and then I screamed really loudly. She passed out for a couple minutes, maybe a minute and a half. Foot was by the pedal, so I told her I had to be a little mean to her. I told her to get her foot away, and then the car just started rolling, so I had to put it in park.
And although stressed while tending to her mom on the side of I-10 at the Bernie Stage Road exit, Krista stayed on the line with 911.
I do remember her, I think I heard her say the exit number. And I remember saying, yes, good girl, and then that was it.
To give us information about what happened, I mean, I couldn't believe that an 11-year-old was that poised.
And it wasn't just Krista stepping up. Fire Station 47's crew not only took care of their patient, they made sure Jenna's son Caleb, who was home alone, had someone to take care of him and move the family's truck off the exit ramp so it wouldn't get towed.
I could not believe that they took care of all of that. Thank you is not enough, but I don't know that there are actually words. I am so grateful.
And Station 47's work wasn't done yet, making sure to get Krista a gift for a job well done.
They're so cute.
I'm glad you like them.
They're two of my favorite colors.
Making for a picture-perfect reunion. John Paul Barajas.
You guys are superheroes.
KSAT 12 News.
I love that. That girl, she knows who she is now in a crisis situation, right? She's able to focus. That is so
do what needs to be done.
Awesome and great to see them remake that connection there.
Yeah, awesome work. Great job.
Hey, okay, so I want to talk about a few things in the forecast.
Gotcha.
First thing for everybody to know is that today is just going to be hot, low 90s. There is a small 10% rain chance that we'll get to in just a bit. But a big update that I've been able to look through is that the cool front this Wednesday looks to be a little bit more substantial than initially thought. Now, we're not going to be busting out the pumpkin spice lattes and enjoying temperatures in the 70s. No. But what that front is going to do is it's going to allow for us to see slightly better rain chances Wednesday and Thursday. I've increased those rain chances. But let's start with your day. Let's get you through your Sunday. There is that small 10% chance for a stray shower or storm. You can see that here on the Futurecast. Now, when we're talking about a 10% chance, what we're talking about is some very, very localized pop-up downpours that may only take up maybe about 5 miles of space within the KSAT 12 viewing area. So that's such a low chance. So keep that in mind. Again, a low chance for a few showers this afternoon before that cool front moves through on Wednesday. So I've skipped ahead to my graphics here a little bit. You're going to have to use some patience with me as I correct some of the things here. But the reason I'm talking about the cool front is because that's really going to have a major impact on our temperatures and on our rain chances. So take a look at tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday. Our highs are going to get up into the mid to upper 90s. Very hot as we start the week. But then in the middle of the week, that's when the cool front is going to move through and drop our highs into the 80s. So again, not crazy cool, but cooler than initially thought and closer to average, which is the upper 80s this time of year. And that front is again, not going to be super potent. We're talking highs in the 70s in the Panhandle, highs in the 80s in North Texas. But that front is going to be bringing us increased rain chances. So take a look at the futurecast the next couple of days. Again, that high will be building over Texas. Then a low sweeps across the Rockies, pulls that cool Canadian air, and that low will allow for that front to be moving through Texas. So on Wednesday, front's going to be moving through Texas, going to make it to San Antonio. You can see how there could be some rain. And then that front is going to stall out on Thursday. On Thursday, that front will stall out, continuing our rain chances throughout the day on Thursday as well. So how much rain could we see? Well, most of us will unfortunately miss out on a lot of rain, but there could be some neighborhoods that see up to about an inch of rainfall in places. So it could end up being some good rain for some folks, but widespread less than an inch, some folks more than an inch of rain, and we are still in that multi-year drought around San Antonio. So we need any little bit of rain that we can get. And again, this is an update to the forecast. We have been able to increase rain chances on Wednesday and Thursday, and take a look at what that does not only to our highs but to our morning lows. Thursday morning, Friday morning, Saturday morning, we could be waking up in the 60s, especially by Friday and Saturday morning. We could be having that cool, crisp fall feeling early in the morning before it warms back up into the 80s. But can you believe that fall officially starts tomorrow and it's going to be 95 degrees outside, Devin? Thank goodness thank goodness it's not going to be in the triple digits, but still, again, I'm happy that we were able to increase those rain chances on Wednesday and Thursday. By the way, we have not yet gotten the pollen count in from our allergist, but as soon as we do, I'll be able to post that on KSAT.com.
Awesome. And of course, you know, we were jamming out little Earth, Wind, and Fire earlier.
Do you
Forecast for tonight,
the 21st night of September.
How are we looking? Just going to be hot?
Well, yeah, just hot today. And maybe in the 80s.
Yeah, okay. Well,
but you can still dance the night away.
Yeah, you know, you can have fun. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, time right now, 8:50, 78 degrees outside.
Coming up tomorrow on GMSA, we're going to tell you the story of a burning woman who came up to hunt to help volunteer after the floods. Now she's becoming a resident here, and she is also leading a fundraiser for this community.
All right, put on your thinking caps because you could leave your mark on San Antonio by helping rename Source Plaza. The city's looking for ideas. You can find a link to the survey by scanning this QR code here on the bottom left of your screen. You can submit your naming ideas by October 1st, and the winning name will be announced in November. It's good to start thinking of, folks. All right, San Marcos Premium Outlets is rolling out the welcome mat for Texas State University students and families with a fun-filled shopping event today. Current Texas State students can head to the outlets and score a $20 Visa gift card to spend at their favorite stores. Plus, they'll get a free maroon and gold tote bag and a coupon book to help them save any more. To claim the perks, students just need to stop by guest services in the food court and show a valid student ID. Parents can also pick up a free tote and coupon book, but the $20 gift card is for students only. Sarah, what's the weather looking like?
All right, Devin. So remember how I said we hadn't gotten the pollen count in? Well, we just got it in.
There we go.
Just in time for the show. So take a look at this. Ragweed is actually the leader of the pack. It's moderate at 160. Molds are low at 470, and pigweed is low. And you may be wondering, why are molds lower than ragweed when the number is higher?
Right, yeah.
Okay, so ragweed is measured in pollen grains per cubic meter, same with pigweed, and molds is measured in spores. So it's a different scale.
Threshold, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Once molds reach 500, though, that's when it's moderate. So again, ragweed is leading the pack. It's definitely higher than it usually is. And as we take a look at your forecast, we're going to be up to 93 today, a small 10% chance for a stray shower. Very hot tomorrow and Tuesday as we officially start fall, but then a cool front to the rescue before it gets too warm. We'll be looking at highs in the 80s because of that front, and importantly, increased rain chances. 40% on Wednesday, 30% on Thursday, and who knows, the data may show us raising those rain chances tomorrow. If it shows that, we'll let you know.
Fingers crossed for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for being here with me, Sarah. Appreciate it.
Great to have you.